ex-husband's last name. I, 56-year-old female, divorced my husband 2 years ago after 26 years of marriage. We have 4 kids and the split was amicable. He came out as gay and we mutually agreed to part ways. Changing my name wasn't a priority. Updating IDs, legal documents, and bank accounts would be a huge hassle.
Yeah,
I still use his last name on official documents, but go by my maiden name socially. Recently, he got engaged to a wonderful guy. I've been supportive of their relationship, but during my grandson's birthday party, my ex suddenly asked if I'd consider dropping his last name.
No.
His fiancée chimed in, saying it makes him uncomfortable that I still use it.
Oh, well.
I was caught off guard and awkwardly joked that unless they went to spend hours in lines at various government offices, I wasn't going to change it. My ex didn't laugh. He insisted it's about starting a new chapter and wants me to, quote, move on.
Oh.
The whole situation felt bizarre. For 2 years, it's never been an issue, and now they're ganging up on me? After the party, my ex called and argued that keeping his name makes it hard for his fiancée to feel like they're starting a fresh life.
Then you got other issues.
I countered that our kids still use the same name.
Correct.
And it would feel strange for me to be the odd one out.
Correct.
What really hurt was learning from my youngest son that his fiancée feels threatened by my name, assuming I'm clinging to some claim on my ex. I've made it clear I have zero interest in rekindling anything, but it feels like I'm being pressured to erase a part of my identity.
No.
My ex admitted his fiancé is uncomfortable because he sees me keeping the name as, quote, a power play.
No.
It feels like I'm caught between trying to keep peace and being forced into something just because his fiancé is insecure.
Yep.
They want me to go through the hassles of changing everything for their comfort.
Nope.
I told my ex that I'll consider it later, maybe after they're married and settled, but now he's furious, saying I'm being petty and selfish.
Oh, well.
My friends think I should stand my ground,
That's right.
but my kids are divided. One thinks I should just give in to keep the peace, while the other agrees that it's ridiculous to change it just because his fiance feels insecure.
Agreed.
I'm frustrated. I don't see why a name on some legal documents is such a big deal.
It's not.
But they're making me feel like the villain. So am I the asshole for
No.
refusing to drop my ex-husband's last name even though he's getting remarried?
No.
I mean, the girl in the background, I'm with her.
I was about to say the ad.
It was there was no more words needed. Just
Sounds like a bunch of idiots.
First of
Yeah.
all, well, okay. I guess can someone pose the question? Just
You're
because-
supposed to be that one.
Well, I've already played it, so
No,
I'm
no,
done.
pose
First
the
of all,
question.
when the air,
Do you
it-
change your last name if someone
Okay.
else yeah.
So the gist of the matter is, once you're divorced, as the person who has taken the spouse's last name, are you supposed to go back to your maiden name? Well, I don't know if they, when it comes to like same sex, I don't know what it's called, but like whatever your born name, you go back to your born name.
Your maiden name.
Your surname?
Your maiden
Your
name.
maiden name due to demands of the new partner. Hell no. Especially not if I have kids, I'm sharing the last name. Like if I don't want to, like first of all,
I just want to point out they was married for 26 years.
I think honestly, just being that my grandma and my grandpa, they had been married.
Is this one of them fake beers?
My mom and her siblings, up until they moved to America, my grandma and my grandpa had been married. My grandpa stayed in Trinidad while my grandma moved up here, and that's when
It made a new life for everybody,
correct.
and then he wanted to be on some bullshit. Okay.
Right. So my grandma stayed up here. He stayed in Trinidad and he got remarried.
Well,
What?
while they were married?
No, they were divorced. They
Bring that back.
got divorced.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
They got
You might wanna
divorced
put
when
that-
my
okay.
grandma moved up here because he did not want to come up here.
Gotcha. Okay.
He later on got remarried, but my grandma still has
beer.
his last name, Castro.
Let me taste it.
Mind
they,
you-
they Hispanic?
Trinidad, Venezuela, they were
Oh, okay.
once the same
They were
country.
conquered. Okay.
Really?
So,
Didn't know.
Racism.
not racism.
One was black, one was like.
Colonialism.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
But anyways, his new wife also has his last name now. So, I mean, technically, she is the new Mrs. Castro, but that does not take away from my grandmother also being Mrs. Castro, because my grandmother is not getting rid of that last name.
Right.
Nor do we care for her to, or think that it's appropriate to, even if new wife felt insecure or uncomfortable with her last name being Castro, because she is the first Mrs. Castro and all of her children had that last name. I mean, aside from my mom who got married and her last name has
Her
changed.
first last name was Castro.
Her
though.
first last name is Castro.
Right.
So it's like it is an insecurity for someone to want that to be changed.
What?
It is.
Yeah.
Because
No,
if
that's-
it's
that's-
Because like, you can't
especially-
erase
Let
the
her cook.
past.
especially because in this scenario, the marriage had taken place for 26 years. I think that that's an unreasonable time for you to ask someone to change their last name because their last name was their last name for 26 years during the marriage.
Right.
It's like, okay, that might be a personal preference if you don't want to be associated with that last name. But if you have kids that would also have that last name, I don't even see why it's necessary.
Can I point out one thing? Just in case everyone didn't hear it, Alan. Just in case everyone didn't hear it, she says socially she goes by her first name, like her maiden name.
This is the wife he divorced.
The first wife. Well, because the
They
second one was her
divorced.
husband.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
So socially, she goes by her maiden name.
yeah, but legally, her name is something. It was what she married.
So
into.
Why,
And that's
though?
my problem.
Right. Why? Because I could see for me, if I meet Rebecca Rothschild and I marry her, I might want to keep this chick's last name because it's going to take me far being David Rothschild. You know what I'm saying? But
There's a good sound to it.
no, there's a good sound because there was David Rockefeller and not David Rothschild. So the point is, I could see, because this is what I'm saying about truth. There's a truth to everything. I'm keeping your last name because it's going to take me here by keeping it. It's going to get me in these doors
Alan,
because my name, David Mundo, might not open that door, but David Rothschild's going to open these doors.
Dave.
So I'm going to
That's a
hold
fact.
on to that. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm not with you no more, I'm not keeping your fucking last name. Like, that's not who I am anymore. Now I am back to me. And I'm going to reclaim my identity. And I'm going to move forward with my identity, not who you are. Because that means I want to live in your shadows
But your
in the
last name
future.
doesn't take away from
What?
your identity.
Go ahead,
You-
Anna.
Because
I mean-
you were.
Let me hear the excuses.
Yeah,
Come on,
no,
come on.
'cause you
Bring the
were
excuses.
Dave.
Bring the excuses.
No, my
Bring
thing
the
is like
excuses.
I
Did you
hear
say
I hear
David?
yeah I hear your
David
point where you
Rothschild?
say that you want to
the
like
excuses.
that the whole like you're taking a name for someone else's for
Mm-hmm.
another reasoning. But like my thing is like I might have been willing to change my last name because I wanted to keep another identity or I kind of wanted to go back to my past identity and my last name, but I'm not going to do it because someone comes up to me and tells me I'm insecure about this. I don't feel comfortable. It's like, listen,
Get your
that
little
is
bitch.
your insecurity. That is not my problem. It's you fix that in therapy. Handle it with your new man. But like, don't come to me and tell me what I have to
Thank
do.
you.
Although I do agree with that entirely. You know,
Better.
if you have somebody who if you have a new spouse telling the ex-spouse to change the last name, I do agree when it becomes a new versus ex-spouse and how that can look. But I personally believe, similar to Dave, once this relationship ended, once this marriage ended, you know, within a decent amount of time, which could look different for different people, but you should want to reclaim your own identity and start off not living in somebody else's shadow, especially if you are already socializing, not identifying with that last name.
But in a case where you've been married to someone for 26 years and you've assumed this last name for 26 years, you going back to your maiden name isn't anything to reclaim. It's not like you're a different person when you're under your maiden last name. This is who you are and this is who you've been for the past 26 years.
Maybe reclaim wasn't the best word for you.
Yeah, maybe, but it's the same difference.
It wasn't, but
Maybe-
even if he used another word, it would still have the same meaning.
So-
I still understand.
Maybe
what
just
he's-
let go
But
of
here's the
I
issue.
still understand his point and what he's saying.
But the
and it's
issue
just,
is-
honestly, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, let me explain this to you.
Let-
If this person if this person is married to whatever this gentleman's last name is, and takes the last name even after the divorce, and let's just say hypothetically, this person was to do a monstrous crime, right? It could be.
This took a turn.
No, but I'm just saying
on
what
last
happens is the identity of that last name, right? You would not want to hold on to it because of the stigmas that it comes with. So you would go quick to go back to your maiden name.
But that's not what happened though.
But what I'm saying is the truth is, going back to what Dave is saying, is that there's an agenda on keeping the last name.
Right.
It's
There's
not
an
that-
agenda there.
It's not that you
an
want the
agenda.
last name. You're keeping it because there's something that's beneficial.
Something there
No,
beneficial.
wait.
listen,
I just-
Listen to the prompt. There's a technicality, and
Ooh,
I
technicality.
could agree with this in a way. Who the fuck wants to stand in line to do all this shit?
Same.
I was
Well,
okay,
that would be another agenda.
that
I don't wanna waste time.
Hold on. No, because that's not the same thing as there being a benefit. There's no benefit to me keeping this name. Everyone knows me as Amanda whatever.
Smith.
So I think the easiest, least adversarial thing to do is for
Every word.
the guy to just take his new spouse's last name.
In this situation,
Problem solving
I-
2.0.
What do you think, Ron? Because I haven't heard. What do you think?
I was going to claim ignorance on this. I didn't know this was a whole thing in the whole married community. So just from the outside, it sounds like he is jealous of the woman. I don't even know about the last names and all that nonsense, but it just sounds like he's a man with a man and is jealous that a man was with a woman, and it's being funny.
It's a power play.
Can I say
What's the
something?
perspective? nigga?
Well, look, the one that we were saying before.
Oh,
So the
I
same
know
perspective.
that they're a crazy family, but Bruce Jenner,
He's about being some
first
trouble.
of all, he's a whole
Trans.
trans now.
he talk like this with a fucking
And
titties.
Kris Jenner still has his last name.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Well, her last name was kind of a brand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Benefit.
And even when she was still married to him,
As a him.
she was thinking about having her name back to Kardashian because it was branded better for her.
Two husbands with good last names.
Until her
not
daughters
bad.
took the
And
name.
exactly. And honestly, the only reason she didn't was because her daughters was like, no, that's crazy. You're married. You need his last name. Like,
Nah, Kris Jenner sounds like a better manager.
She
True.
is definitely.
and because
Kris Kardashian, I don't wanna-
but you
Doesn't
know
sound
what?
that good.
Yeah.
But you know what? We all know her as Kris Jenner. So it's even all the shit she's been through with that sex change, that divorce or whatever. We know her as Kris Jenner. For her to go back to, I don't even know what the fuck her maiden name is.
Kardashian.
No, before that. Like,
Well, before she was Kardashian.
before she was Kardashian, I don't even know her last name. And it wouldn't even.
Give us a last name.
I think it was.
wouldn't be
I think it was
beneficial
Chris
to her.
Demonic.
No, mine is so.
Kardashian.
You want
yeah.
Crystal Lake?
It was Chris Demonic. Because
Okay,
anybody
can-
that allows their kids to do what they do, and
I just want to point out a few things that like nobody has really covered. So when you get, mind you, they've been married 26 years. You have to think about
Long time.
what you, an average person, what you amass over the course of 26 years. You got kids. They got that last name. You got a pension. You have insurances, life, home, car. You have all of any legal documents under that name.
but this is what I'm
Your
saying
will
though.
is written.
There's a reason. This is what I'm saying. There's an ulterior motive why you will keep something.
Well, just let me
Go
finish.
ahead. Okay, finish. I'm just saying.
So
Alice said I didn't talk enough. I'm just saying.
you have your social security card.
He did say that.
You have all of your bank accounts, your savings, your
Passport.
trusts, your what else? I mean, there's so many
Your
things.
identity.
Everything important.
I wouldn't have done
Your
that.
Everything
Lazy for
that the average person has, right? And you want them to go and change it? First
So
of
basically,
all,
don't
but-
keep what
I
you
bet
had
won't
that
let me
you made you
finish.
nothing.
But I
Keep
bet you won't-
everything
but I
that
bet
made
you
you
won't let me
something.
finish. But I bet you won't let me finish.
I bet you won't let her finish.
Okay.
That's a good bet.
So
FanDuel it.
the
take
point
over.
is there's so many things involved, right? And it's not just time. It's a lot of money to get your name changed.
That was my
One,
question.
if it's not in your divorce decree, because I don't know if y'all remember the Tina Turner movie with Angela Bassett, like what's love got to do with it?
Good movie.
Like that has to be in your divorce decree. Like what happens with the name? If it's not in your decree, that means you have to go and like pay extra to have your shit changed.
Is this a lawyer talking?
Yeah, like.
It's a lawyer talk. It's
So-
a lawyer talking.
So I'm just saying, like, unless you're willing to go. The thing is, if you want my name changed bad enough, my friend, you go do it.
I feel like
Baby,
you
I
would,
will.
though.
Baby, no, and that's fair, baby. I will give
That-
you.
that dude
I will
would've-
give you an affidavit. I will give you any and everything you need to go stand in these lines.
You do the footwork.
There's really, there's,
If I personally wanted to go back to my last name and subtract myself from his name, could I continue the same benefits?
What benefits?
You knowing the law better than probably I will.
But what benefits do you?
But whatever the
Your
benefits
pension.
of keeping the same name,
There's
if
a
I take my
million.
own name, can I continue having those accolades?
Oh yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
No, I
You
just
can
wanted
still.
to ask.
So if you're
Right.
entitled
So-
to if you are
just wanna know.
genuinely entitled to their benefits, to their accounts,
Right.
whatever.
It doesn't
name
matter if I
doesn't
go
matter.
back to my maiden name. I could still have all those accolades.
It'll
It's just a lot of
it'll be
bureaucratic work.
filed. Like it'll be filed that there has been a name change.
Right. So I could get every single thing that I was able to get with your last name with
Yes.
my last name now because I should subtract
If
myself
if it's
from
a
that.
legal thing,
Right.
yes. If it's a
Okay,
legal
no problem.
thing,
That's what I wanted to know.
Can
You know
I-
what? I rest my case, Your Honor.
Can I ask I want to ask a question.
I rest my
go
case.
through the
I rest my
trouble.
case.
wanna-
I'm good at this. I'm just good at this.
I want to ask a question based on this to the just
good
to
at
the,
all this damn talking, Dave.
just to the fellas. I want to ask. I want to ask Rome, Rico,
I
and
don't think he said
Dave,
that.
all unmarried men.
I wish this day was here for like a long time.
No, Dave needs to be here. So I want to ask them. I know you guys are not married, but let me ask you guys a question. I'm being honest question. Rome, Rico,
I am married.
Dave. Listen to the question. Could you marry a woman who told you upfront that she will not take your last name?
yes.
Yeah, I can too.
Aw.
I can.
What does her last name have with it?
I don't want to marry a woman that her last name is super fajacalicious.
No. You're not. No, her last name is. She just has a regular last name.
Let's just say it's Smith.
Her last name, yeah,
That's
Smith.
so lame. Let's
she
just-
she has a
Castro.
No.
Yeah, I think Castro's a cute name.
It
It's
is.
a nice name.
Blanco.
Okay, whatever.
I like
But
Griselda.
it's such an old school thing to like be like, you gotta
like
take my
Griselda.
last
What's your
name.
what's your last name?
Steinberg?
Ooh.
What is
Yeah.
it?
Are you Jewish?
No.
Yes, you are.
No,
it's in your
I'm
blood.
not.
You just don't
It's
know.
It look like
yeah,
there's
it's
a group of
if
people that
it's
escaped
anything,
to
it's
your
like
lands,
so
okay? That's what
far,
it sounded
yeah.
like.
Wait,
But it's-
Steinberg.
All right, her last name is
Swedish, it's
Macaroni.
Steinberg.
Oh,
No, I don't want macaroni.
Yeah.
Wait,
no.
guy, wait, hold on.
I'm not gonna be called David Macaroni. That's
No,
shit sound
I'm sorry,
crazy.
David
she's not-
Macarena.
She's not asking
sound
you.
crazy, like-
Listen, she's not asking you to take on her last
To
name.
keep it.
She's saying to you,
I wanna
this is
keep
for the
mine.
fellas. This is
I
for
wanna
the
keep
fellas.
mine.
You're committed to this young lady. You're like, oh, she's working out. She's like, okay, we're gonna get married.
Rome
This is
said no. What's y'all's answer?
very.
I don't-
I'm not
I personally-
going to
I don't-
change my name for you.
I don't care about none of this.
That's beautiful.
I'm actually
Rome
not
doesn't even
shocked.
wanna be
Beautiful.
married.
Well, we're in the same page.
Rome doesn't care.
I can, maybe it was
I didn't know it was that
outside
important.
something.
Like, what does that mean? We can't share shit because you don't
it
have my
doesn't
last
determine
name?
love. It doesn't.
You're legally married, but her last name is not Johnson.
Yeah, but why people really care about this?
I'm be
People
honest.
do.
It comes in
People do.
handy
Bro, you
sometimes.
just
Thank
heard
you.
26 years
like,
of caring about it.
Here's my
You
thing.
just heard that.
I'm not taking unless, with the exception of Rothschild, Rockefeller.
You're not taking
But
her
that's
last
my
name.
thing.
She's
No,
just
no,
telling
no.
you she's not
She
taking
doesn't want to take your last name
But
when
what
she
does that
marries
mean?
you.
Okay, let me finish.
You
Okay.
keep your last name. She keep
You got like a basic last
Jesus
name. I'm
Christ,
just
let me
saying.
finish.
What's your last name?
Let me.
I don't want to say for the camera.
Yeah, I got you. But let me finish, right? With the exception of her last name being Rothschild, Rockefeller, or anything of substantial value or legacy,
Hatan.
and she doesn't want to change it, I would not do it, right? Because if you come from Perth Amboy, New Jersey, and your last name is Castro, and all the Castros in Perth Amboy have never amounted to anything, and you're holding on to this name, not even hyphenated, right? By the way, it's not even hyphenated.
Hyphenated.
It's just zero. Like you just keeping Castro. So like there is no benefit to your last name, but yet you don't want to take my last name. First of all, that tells me what you think about me and what I've acquired or done in my life, right? But so what I'm saying is, if you're not gonna even hyphenate my name, I don't even want you. Because you know what the crazy
What
thing
if
is?
Castro just sounds better? It doesn't even have to have no.
Bruh,
benefit.
My name damn near is the American
Fucking
version of
sounds
it's the
better
American
than what the fuck
pronunciation
you
of
got.
Castro, right?
It's not.
But he said, "What are you keeping?"
Well, yeah, like what are you keeping?
Something that sounds better.
What is your last name? Is Chupacabra.
You're like, does mine? Must not. But I'm just saying, you're asking me, right? Like, if your last name has more value than my last name, right? Let's say you can't come from a good stock, I can understand and I can respect it.
Not a stock.
Right.
But if your last name has no association with success, wealth, or just some type of expectation that has been set from your from generation to generation, and you just like, what the fuck? So you just don't.
The Medicis.
No, but
Rome, tell me what you think.
Like, what are you like? What is that saying about me and my last name? Like, what is
Disrespectful.
Oh, you feel
Aaron,
disrespected?
that? We ain't shit either. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, bro. But what I'm saying, if a woman is showing you the utmost respect, she's showing you love, you have no reason to even question her authenticity. And yeah, just question her authenticity. And then when you get married, she says, I want to keep my last name. Yeah. I hear where you're coming from. Like, why would you have to worry about it?
It's a lack of respect.
So now you have kids.
We are in
So look,
2024. Hold on. Can I just say something right now? What the fuck?
Ain't that what you saying though, Rome?
Me?
What are you saying? Like you say you don't. But that's what I'm saying. Like why are you questioning? You don't care.
Because like, all right, wait, hold on. Amanda,
Guys, one at a time,
Before
please.
we get to there, right? And I'm not saying this in a shady way, but Rome and Dave, I highly doubt that the odds of you two both procreating in the next rest of your lifetime is going to be slimmer than somebody.
I'm not procreating no more. Right. It's a wrap.
But he's already procreated.
So look, it's going to be slimmer than somebody who is 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Now let's say you have kids, right? Now you didn't take my last name and I didn't take your last name. Now we have children and these children are going to have a last name.
Oh, you're talking about legacy.
So now it's like, maybe she might want the kid to say, I don't want the hyphenated name. Because if I wanted my kid to have a hyphenated name, I would have took a hyphenated name, right? I want my kid to have my last name. And now you run into an issue where it becomes the truth about whose last name is valued more. And at the end of the day, when you want to have some type of like synchronicity as a family.
Okay.
But
you feel what I'm saying?
hold on.
Let me finish.
I bet you can he spell that?
I just got to praise. I just got to praise. Right?
Go ahead, Amanda.
You want to keep your last name. All right, cut.
What time period are we living in when we're talking about
the Middle Ages?
The last names.
Well, we going back.
Value.
Yeah, no, we going back. So it's
Aaron,
actually appropriate.
But wait a minute, Amanda. But if my last name was Carter, you would be like, okay.
She don't know who
Why?
Carter is.
Well,
Not if it's referred to New Jack City, the Carter.
Let's take Carter out and say Kardashian.
Someone that is, I'm 27 years old. I'm from New York.
Let them know, girl.
Give a who the fuck is Carter?
Right.
What are we talking about?
Is it Jimmy Carter or is it Sean Carter?
Yeah.
Like, which
First
one is it?
generation born. She don't even count. Like
No, Sean Carter's nephew wants to marry you.
But do you know how common
Who cares? He might not be a
last name
rapper.
Carter is?
All right, Kardashian.
That does not.
Kardashian.
First
Rob
of all,
Kardashian.
In California, in LA, that's a common name because there's so many Persians
Kardashian?
there. Yeah, there's so many
Is it?
There's a huge Persian
Okay.
community.
Let's go with Rothschild, okay? If I got to keep climbing the ladder for us to understand, the Philip D. Rothschild wants to marry you. Are you keeping Castro?
I don't know,
First
like
of all-
who gonna stand in all them lines?
We're still waiting for the answer.
The thing is like,
Wait, I can't. Guys, wait.
She don't probably even know who the Rothschilds are.
I actually have personal experience.
See,
I
she don't know who the
Amanda,
Rothschild is.
And that's
No.
what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking about y'all talking about last names as if they have any fucking meaning.
they do, Amanda.
hold
They
on.
do.
No, because he's talking about Carter as if I'm in direct alignment with fucking
Jimmy Carter.
fucking Jay-Z. No, the fuck I'm not. Just because your last name is Carter does not mean I'm in
No,
any
if you're
relationship.
dating Jay-Z's nephew, who's
what
the
we're
same
saying.
age, he's 27 also, 28, and he's gonna marry you. He's like, you're gonna
But
take my
what she's
last
saying
name.
is that there's 38 gazillion other Carters. It's a fucking
That's
Smith.
No,
We're
that's
saying
that's what
you
I'm
have a
talking
direct
about.
correlation to the person who has built the reputation
That's
of
an
that last name.
anomaly. That
Guys,
is.
can allow me to speak simply because I think I have personal experience with a last name and it actually meaning something. So, right. So I was fine with taking my husband's last name. Didn't make no difference to me at all. However, when I married, I owned shit. I had things. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of money to go ahead and change these things. So I was like, hey, when I had the time, I was like, hey, let's go ahead and like get our certificate so that I can start changing, like my stuff. And I have more now, but like I had a little less then. Because back then they didn't want me, but now I'm hot there. That's what I was about to say. So
I don't understand what you mean. No, go back for like 3 seconds. They didn't want you. Like what are you
Alan
talking
got
about?
it, but what I'm saying
That's
is
not fair. The people didn't get it. I didn't get it.
there's a good amount of them that did get it. But what I'm saying is that thank you. Who?
Mike Jones.
Who? Thank you. Exactly.
You know the number though? What's the number?
She don't know it.
There's no way.
Of course I know.
You know the number? Go ahead.
You
What's
know
the number?
281-330-8004.
All right, you two. We gotta
shit.
get back to the topic because y'all be. All right, we back.
Like, why wouldn't I know it? Like, literally.
Okay, all right, come on.
Okay, long story short, what I'm saying is, sorry, but long story short, what I'm saying is that at the time I did try to change it, but then once we got married and so many things, like big things happened after we got married, it wasn't even important. And even to this day, my husband don't trip. When he comes in the house, he be like, Aaron Campbell. Like, he called me by my first and my last name. It's not a big deal, but I also think that he understands the weight and the expectations and just everything that comes with that last name. And I actually sort of feel the same way. When my father-in-law died, I was actually happy that I didn't have the last name and people couldn't seek me out to talk to me or like.
Well, which
ask,
last name is this? Campbell or
my husband's last name?
So you
We're
don't
not
have
gonna
his last
mention-
name?
No. Well, socially, yes. But like, I mean, like, you
But
know,
on paper, it's not his last
like
name.
legally, no.
Nah, you go around and you tell people his last name.
Aaron T. Campball.
Which
Yeah.
Okay.
now
I just wanted to
know,
understand.
and now
I'm
I'm
too good
thinking
for
about
this
it
shit.
Campbell
from
is her daddy name.
I'm thinking about it from
Right.
And I'm
let's
not mad
just
at you
say-
for that.
Let's just say which fact I am in the process of changing my last name, right?
To Rothschild?
No.
His last name is some crazy shit.
I just-
can't
I
remember.
Well, it's not even. It's not even want to. I've already did the documentation and I paid for 50% of it,
I think
right?
we talked about it before.
So, simply because I know what I'm going to be doing and whatnot. Now, if let's just say I was to marry somebody, and I'm not saying this is your situation, I'm just speaking in general. Now, looking at it from another perspective, if I'm going to marry somebody and they didn't want to take the last name, I would almost feel a bit relieved because if the last name has a certain expectation and weight, you can't tarnish it. Because there's a lot of people that you bring into your legacy and they can tarnish your last name with one wrong move. They could tarnish your last name with just some type of behavior that is now public. And now, next thing you know, your last name is associated with X, Y, and Z.
Heron.
Think about, like, no offense, and I don't know the situation, but I do know that, like, Magic Johnson, for example, and his child. Now, if that wasn't his child that was doing something that he didn't agree with,
Close to his child.
But his name is Johnson.
No. I get it. No, I'm just saying.
I think his last name was Hitler.
I'm saying, for example,
Great example.
let's say if you married somebody who did something that you did not stand in a line with, and now they're saying, I'm going to do what I believe in, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Oh, like the Jolie, like Brad Pitt. I think Brad Pitt kids. One of the kids changed their name because they
Yes.
didn't want to be like associated with
Associated.
whatever.
And this not even being shady. I'm not
But
even
no, but
being
I'm-
shady, but like if your last name right now is Combs.
Yeah, like if so, for example, now,
I'm
but
like, I'm
not-
rich, bitch.
But I'm not saying, I'm
They
not
all
saying
stepping
from.
behind him, so that
But
don't
I'm not
matter.
speaking from the kids aspect. I'm speaking from you're married in.
Yeah.
Not it's different. Like
you don't have a choice when you're a kid.
yeah, when you're a kid, you know what I'm saying there's actual blood relation to you.
Yeah.
Now this is somebody like that you either chose or they chose you, whatever the case may be. It can actually be more so of they got their own last name. Because if they do fuck up, at least they ain't fucking up my name. Because at the end of the day, your name is really the only thing that you got.
Your name is Anna Combs.
A name is a brand.
I would take it.
You know what I'm saying?
Can I say one thing? One of my so my best friend from college, he and his wife, I'm their kid's godparent. They created a very successful business. They sold it recently for a lot of money. And she still goes by her, like legally, she goes by his last name. But socially, she goes by the name that she established before they got married. And I understand why, why she does it. And it's not that she doesn't respect him, because he's a part of the business too. Crucial part of everything. But
she's the head.
No. I'm just saying she didn't change because she had already established herself as like.
But who started the business? It's her business.
I mean, really, they started it together.